Good afternoon, everybody. Paula Eben here in the WBZ studio with Dr. Mallika Marshall. Today, the Surgeon General issued an advisory urging more Americans to carry the overdose antidote Narcan. Now, this is the first national public health advisory in 13 years. The Surgeon General says that those who have family and friends at risk for an overdose should learn how to use Narcan and should keep it on hand. So, Dr. Marshall is with us to talk about this. This sounds big. Who is most at risk for an overdose?
That's a good question, because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering at home, like, do I need to have one of these rescue kits? But we're talking about people who really are at risk. So obviously someone who's had a prior overdose, who has been discharged after having a prior overdose, someone who has a history of substance use or abuse. So we're talking about prescription drugs, but also heroin and fentanyl. Also, if someone tends to use substances with other substances, so if they're using sedatives or alcohol, for example. Anybody who has long-standing pain, who has been on chronic treatment with opioids, we worry about.
Yeah.
And then, you know, anybody who has access to opioids, who maybe hasn't been prescribed them, but, you know, a lot of people sort of stockpile and hold on to opioids that they got for surgeries years ago.
They're hanging around a lot of houses.
They are, and unfortunately they're getting into the wrong hands. Young people, teenagers, young adults are experimenting with them and finding them and then sort of getting hooked. So if you have a concern that you yourself or a loved one might be at risk of developing a problem and an addiction, it's probably a good idea to have one of these kits.
Maybe as people know how to use an EpiPen, right? If someone in their family has an allergy, then Narcan might become something else you need to know about.
Absolutely, although in this case, in most states, including here in Massachusetts, you don't need to have a prescription. You can go to a pharmacy and just say, I need one of these kits, and they're available as both a nasal spray and an injection.
Good to know.
With good instructions on the outside.
Dr. Mallika Marshall with an important advisory from the Surgeon General. And for anything else on the Health Watch from Dr. Mallika Marshall, just check out cbsboston.com.